Thanks for tuning into the special edition of the Renshaw Report. Maria, reporting from the city too tough to die, New London. Guests tonight from the Healthcare Workers Local 5123, New London, Connecticut. Connie Fields and Susan Menghi. And ladies, thank you for taking the time to come on, bring us up to speed.
Sure.
They've been without a contract for quite some time since the last hurricane. Summer's come and gone.
Summer's come and gone twice.
Connie, bring us up to speed. Where are we now? Since the last time that we spoke, the president, we got a new president.
We got a new president.
We got a new big shot.
Yes.
Big shots. You've been negotiating with different people, new people. Are we making any progress? And is this strike settled?
No.
Not strike.
But it's not. It's not settled, and we still were communicating with the same people up until the late part of August. And we have just decided if they can't take care of all of our members, especially for a livable wage, then there's no deal. We have to be able to help people to be able to afford their rent. Mm-hmm. This is a major corporation in the state. We have to be able, now they're in 2 states, we have to be able to help them to be able to feel valued at work by offering them a livable wage. You know, it's disheartening the way you go back and forth. We present and they don't even look at it. They push it to the side like, we're not even doing that. Exact words. We're not looking at your proposal. We're only looking at our proposal, and this is what we are proposing. The hospital has invited you back to the table, and this is what we're doing. No.
When was the last time you met?
August 18th, and then we were going back and forth, and we just decided no more. We can't do it. So we decided to have an informational picket, and we had a vote to see if, you know, of course the negotiating committee would have to accept. The negotiating committee, we did a survey at the hospital's request, and it was 88% do not take the deal. So
the
for those that
hospital
voted.
was trying to circumvent the negotiating process.
Right.
And 88% supported you guys for continuing negotiations to try to negotiate a fair contract.
For more. They wanted us to get more, and I don't blame them.
Am I correct, the way I understood your description of the negotiations, they're trying to cherry pick each particular job, activity, and not negotiate a contract for everyone?
That's correct. That's
Is
totally
that
correct.
Is that typical in your business?
No, it's not. But what we want to see is, so Donna Epps has retired, but the attorney is still there, just condescending and rude. Why are you inviting us to meet if you're not?
Who is the attorney?
Gabe Duran.
Dave who?
Gabe Duran.
Duran from Hartford.
Duran.
Oh, from Hartford.
You're right.
What do you hope to achieve by this informational picket?
We want them to know that we have support. The survey showed that we had support, but now we want the community to know that we need support. So we're asking our neighbors, our friends, our families, other unions to come out. There are, I think, 16 unions in New London alone.
May I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Speaking of that, I would like you to contact and try to get support, and I'm sure you can get them. I don't know if they can do it on such short notice. But the guy you need down there is probably the most influential, powerful union guy that I've ever met. And he represents the laborers local. His name is Keith Brother.
Let me see that pen.
I want to give you.
You're going to give me his number?
No, I'll give you his number. I'll give you contact. You know Ricky Free.
Yeah.
Ricky Free's a big shot too, and he can talk to Keith Brother. But I would love to see you get Keith, because if there's anybody that can do what you want to do. He's the guy.
Thank you, Mary.
In all my time, he's 100% union, and he sympathizes with everybody that's part of it. And he'd be a great guy if you could get him down. I don't know if you can get him on shirt, but I'll give that to you after the show.
Sure.
That'd be awesome, thank you.
But I do have to tell you, we just found out that Electric Boat is getting ready to start negotiating. They need more money. But the hospital...
I thought, wasn't there something in the paper today that they settled or something?
No, I don't think they settled. Because remember, I think there's 9 different contracts. Whether they all settled, I don't think so.
Well, just tell the listeners
What we need?
no, tell them what the wages are right now and why this. You know, I remember, Connie, right in that door, right over there, you had a gentleman here one night.
Yeah.
And represents a lot of people that are working at the hospital.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And those of us who've been in the hospital know what goes on there.
Absolutely.
In addition to the doctors and the nurses.
Absolutely.
The people that do the heavy lifting, some of whom I know, but that gentleman to me represents what we're fighting for here.
Absolutely.
And tell the listeners what they're making now and what you would hope to achieve.
So the minimum wage now is $15.50 for the hospital.
So you get $20 to work at McDonald's.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Target is paying more. And not to say they shouldn't, they should, because our area needs a major come up with wages. We know that the minimum wage is changing to $15.65 in January 1st. So we don't hire anybody under 18 anymore, so it's not like we have the high school students who are coming out getting ready to go to college.
Why is that?
I don't know, they changed the policy. So
Could
we
be
don't
with the
hire.
hours, because there's more work restrictions when you're under 18 and you're in school, what hours you can work.
Is that good or bad that they don't?
I think
hire?
it's bad that they don't, because they're not giving people an opportunity that could use, that need to work, right? Help their families. That's always been huge. My mother had 6 children. Every one that turned 16 went to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So let's take a step back.
Okay.
We're saying that the people in most need right now are making $15.50 an hour.
In that category. So the max for that category, for those 2 categories, is $23 an hour. So the hospital just gave our engineering department anywhere from $5 up to $10 more an hour. That's disheartening. We're fighting, begging, scraping. We are literally begging for money for our members. That's not acceptable.
And it's interesting that it's the non-union workers that are getting the raise. And they should. I mean, the engineering employees, they work really hard. We
Work really
literally
hard.
cannot run the place without them.
But no.
They deserve every dollar they can get. But it just goes to show that the money is there in the institution
Absolutely.
to dole out. And we deserve our piece of that pie because we work just as hard.
Absolutely.
And we feel that it could be a union busting tactic. I hope it's not, but it's just a little disheartening that it's non-union positions that are getting the money and there's hardly anything for our members.
Right. We don't feel like the disbursement of funds is equally dispersed for
Right.
all the members. So engineering just got a huge increase in September, and we heard October they will be coming forth with a 4% raise. So yes, we did get 2% in July, right? And we got another 2%, most of us, in February. So that's the 4%.
And
But-
that's in your envelope? That's in your pay
Yes.
right now?
Yeah, yeah. But you're talking about moving people to a livable wage. How do you do that?
Well, have you paid your electric bill this month? Did you get your electric bill this month?
Yes. And I don't think the electric company should be allowed to raise rates either
No, they're playing games too.
at their percentage.
Go Go ahead, I lost my train of thought.
So
Must have been a lie.
what we want, what we're asking for, what we're going to stand for on October 11th, Wednesday, 11 to 5 p.m., we're going to stand for a livable wage. We're going to stand for increases for all members, not the one you pick and choose. And we're going to stand for safety. Safe staffing is huge for the hospital. As you know, when your wife is there were some delays. We don't want delays. We want people to be able to be taken care of in a timely fashion, in a timely manner. Treat them like they're staying at a hotel. Foxwoods, Mohegan, pretend like they are a guest. And the service they deserve is the best service you can deliver, right? That's what this is about. It's also about affordable health insurance. We've always gotten our health insurance packets for us to review as the union officers in May. We haven't seen it yet. And the open enrollment is
Coming up in November.
November. So how can we decide and make sure we discuss with all of our members, this is where we are and this is where we're going? We actually probably have more people on state insurance than we do using the hospital's insurance. We talked about that before.
Connie, we also talked before about the hospital claiming that they don't make any money.
They're so funny.
You had done some research.
I did.
You concur with that at
No.
this point in time?
No, they do make money.
Because they don't have any problem making out a bill, if you've ever seen
Amen.
some of the bills.
You are so correct. But let me tell you something. If you don't make money, why did your last CEO receive, over the course of 6 years, $1 million increase? If I'm not making money, I can't give myself money. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
I need to be able to take care of the people that are at the bedside, people that are at the doors, registering people, cleaning up the yards, making sure, doing the dishes, bringing the foods to the patients, really taking care of the patients from the time they walk into the door to the time they walk out. Our union takes care.
Those are the people that you represent. How many
Absolutely.
disciplines do you represent?
I represent over 47 jobs, 47 different jobs, might even be 52 now. Way more important, we represent 926 members.
How's the morale of the workers? I mean,
We were,
down.
yeah, we were able to get a deal, remember, I told you about in May, it ended up being June, for the PCAs, patient care assistants, Susan, that. We were able to get them, we felt a really nice increase because nursing homes were overpaying, or I'm sorry, I don't want to say overpaying. Nursing homes was paying their worth for the employees at that, with that title, because they need them. If I need you, then I will pay you. And that's where we find it difficult to figure out why. I think the system is so big that they're just overlooking the fact that the economy has changed.
Quickly.
Being able to afford food. The food banks have changed. Now, certain smaller ones will have to pay to help out Gemma Moran. We don't mind, because we need that food bank in the hospital. We need people people are using it. And it's not just our union, it's the nurses union and the tech union too. People are feeling the lack of being able to support their family. That's hurtful. I work for an organization that leads me to believe that I should be able to afford to take care of my family. That's not true. When close to 50% of our members don't use your insurance, that's huge. The state pays for it. So they're on state insurance. So the majority of them are on state insurance or they're on their spouse's insurance. Well, out of the 213 members that live in New London in my union, now most of them are on state. And I don't blame them.
Previously, when Patrick Brown was the president, was it Patrick?
Patrick Green.
Patrick Green.
Patrick Green. Jeez. When Patrick Green was the president, you had a rocky relationship with him.
Absolutely.
And who was the new president, and how was your relationship with him?
I've only met him a couple of times, and so far we've had a really good interaction. So I'm looking forward to developing a better relationship where we feel like we can have a conversation and trust that he's going to work with us. I do believe we can get a deal, a signed contract, because that's what the mayor has been working with, right? He's been trying to help us get that. The mayor of New London, Mayor Mike Passero. But I really need for us to be able to have these conversations. We're doing everything via Zoom, right? Why can't we sit down at the table like we used to? Go back and forth, then you write what you want, you write what you want. We discuss what the options are. This has turned into a dictatorship. This is what we have for you, and we're not even going to look at your proposal.
Well, I mean, Zoom is a great tool.
It is.
Why can't you discuss the issues via
We
Zoom?
can, but sometimes when you're at the table, you can see me, right? I can
I
see
you on
you.
Zoom too.
You can. I'm not, listen, when we were afraid to move or to have these conversations, Zoom was
And
perfect.
who's attending these Zoom meetings?
The attorney for, the last meeting was definitely the attorney for L&M and their new HR director who was going to take care of unions, and for them, and 2 business partners. For us, it's our executive board.
How many people?
It's 9 of us. There's 9 executive board members. 1 wasn't allowed to come.
How come?
They wouldn't release him for work.
Oh.
And then we have 2 consistent members on the negotiating team who attend. Sue is one of them, and Carla is the other.
So, unfortunately, you didn't have a good meeting
No.
in August.
No.
And that's the most disheartening part is we want you to come back to the table in good faith.
Right.
In good faith is progress, moving forward, a better offer than what you gave us the last time.
Right.
When you're still giving us something that only a few people in a category benefit from, only a few categories benefit from, and some categories still have not benefited from all this time, that to me is not in good faith.
Right.
We want real good faith.
Right.
Not just a condescending, this is our last best offer, here you go. No.
And Sue said some key words for me that always triggers is I want to pay some people in the category, like I want to pay part of the people in environmental and food and nutrition, but I don't want to make sure everybody else in that category gets money. Everybody's got to have a come up. If you max out at $23, and some just max out at $23.10, right? When you're maxing out that low and you're single, how can you afford to live?
I think the day paper had a statistic couple weeks ago of how much a family of 4 needed to survive in this day and age. I think it was $120,000
Right.
Yep.
a year, which is unreachable for too many people.
It is. So sometimes family have to work together. I know there are 3 families that I know in our union. 2 are sisters, and they have combined their families to live together to save money. So maybe they can get a 2-family house or something later on. But they have to do it together because they can't afford it. The rent, the increase of rent for our area, let alone buying a home for our area, has quadrupled. You used to be able to get an apartment for $800. Now it's more than double. And I feel bad for senior citizens who are just making it. Yes, we want to provide services. We have had so many people that that work 2 jobs. Like, it's ridiculous on the number of members we have that work 2 jobs. Some work first shift full-time, come to L&M at night, works full-time because they have to work. They need 2 jobs.
You know, the shame of it, Connie, I'm gonna be 73 in August. We, guys my age, you're a father. We all work 2 jobs.
Right.
Now 2 jobs doesn't make it.
No.
That's the problem.
That's what,
Politically speaking, I know Mayor Pastro is working hard behind the scenes.
oh,
to help
definitely.
you. And he admits it's a very tough negotiations and a tough job.
Right?
Martha Marks proposed legislation with regard to the amount of people that have to work at the hospital. Did that gain any traction, and what has happened with that, and was that viable?
It starts a conversation, and we're thankful for Martha. We're thankful she's up in Washington. We're thankful for Anthony Nolan. We're thankful for Andre from Groton. We're thankful for Chris Connolly. Like, there are so many people that have been here trying to help us. And even the city council members for New London. But this isn't just about New London. Waterford needs to get on board. Groton,
Well,
Stonington.
What can they do?
They can stand with us. When we're out here on Wednesday, October 11th, they should be there. These are
But
their...
how is that going to influence the negotiations? I don't understand.
What the picket
I
does?
don't understand what we're going to achieve by this
Hopefully
picket
we'll
line.
achieve them to want to come back to the table in good faith. What's the sense of coming back to the table and you said, this is our offer? And just like that, this is our offer.
But Connie, you'll have a good crowd. You know, both of you know you have the support of most people.
Yeah.
The
Because
the
our
day
hospital...
the day after this informational picket line, we're going to hear the same speeches. I hope you get the sky though, because it'll be a lot different. What happens the next day?
We'll still keep
We're
fighting.
back to square one.
We can't stop, Murray.
I'm not suggesting you stop.
Right, but because if we stop, then people don't, they'll never get it. We have to continue to fight for what members deserve.
If we stop fighting, they're going to think that we're giving up and we're surrendering,
And we can't do
we'll take whatever little bits for a few people they're willing to give us, and we can't do that.
You have an attorney that represents you guys, right?
We do.
You were going to have him come on the show one
Yes.
time, and we haven't done that. We should do that sometime. What advice are the higher-ups, the international people, the people on the next level up in your union? Do they have any advice? Are they guiding you, or is there a...
I mean, they agree
You
that
got
it's not a
information,
good
Connie.
offer.
You got information.
I do. And I have to tell you, we have a great representative that's helping us out. The attorney is associated with Ferguson Law Firm in Rocky Hill. He is wonderful. And we have our representative from our sister union, Emily. She's wonderful. So that's all I can say.
That's all you can say. If they're so wonderful, why aren't we celebrating a signed contract?
Because they are helping us communicate with this brick wall.
Who makes the call?
We do.
Who makes the call on their side? Is it the president?
I don't know.
Is it the board of directors?
Oh, God, no. I don't.
HR and their lawyer.
I think it's HR and the lawyers, and I think hopefully with the new president we'll be able to have better conversations. I'm hoping even if he's not at the table, whoever he's bringing to the table, they got to know that they want people to get a deal. They got to know that this hospital, Lawrence Memorial, services us, our families, our neighbors. They're us. And for them to not think we're worthy or worth more money is disheartening, not only for us, it's disheartening for our community. You know, how do you think how do you think it feels for us to watch somebody wait because they're so short-staffed? That's not safe staffing. That's on here,
That's
safe staffing.
normal operating procedure now.
I know, but it's not
Nobody wants to go
normal.
to the hospital.
Right? Nobody wants to go to the hospital because why? The long wait times.
You know, Connie, when Lost Memorial merged with Yale New Haven, the table was turned and it will never be the same again.
It was flipped.
It's no longer.
Yeah.
It's no longer our local hospital where our friends worked and where we got sick. We went to go. It's a different place now. These are different times. So.
But do I think things can change to help us? If us as a community, if we as a community stick together and say, we want better treatment for our patients, which are our family, friends, neighbors. We're not saying, you treat the employees better, but don't worry about us as a patient. We want you to treat us better because we're going to treat the patients. They need better staffing for us to treat the patients better. That's just a given.
You have to have the staff. And you're right, it's the norm right now, but that doesn't mean that it's right, and that doesn't mean that it can't change.
Absolutely.
We can go back to what we used to have back in the day. Of course, it won't be the same, but that doesn't mean that we can't go back to good staffing.
Right.
But we need the higher-ups to help out with
Well,
that.
you need to eat too.
We
Yeah.
do.
And you need to pay your mortgages.
I need to pay my
We need
mortgage.
roofs over our heads so that we can come to
electric
work
bill.
to
Yeah.
take care of
You know
people.
what, you know what oil is now? I paid $4.34 the other day.
Ugh.
Gallon of oil.
And Eversource wants to raise their rates again.
They did. They raised the delivery rates.
It's terrible.
Recap.
Okay. So on Wednesday, October 11th, before October 11th, we went to our members and asked them to vote. This is what they're proposing. They only want to give money to 111 people. In one category, there's 176 people. They only want to give money to 57. That's not fair. So that's 57. And they only want to give money here and there to a few others. We're 900 people. 900. How can you say, I pick you? No. How do you sit down and say, all right, what do you think would be fair? Ask me, because I'll tell you. You know?
One last question. I asked you about arbitration. How about mediation? Is that an option?
We have had a mediator throughout the course of negotiations, a federal mediator, and I think we need a new one, in my opinion.
So Wednesday, 11 a.m.
Wednesday, 11 a.m., 365 Montauk, right in front of the hospital.
That's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Right.
Wednesday, October 11th. We're asking union members to come out. I'm bringing my family. I'm bringing a couple of friends. I'm bringing people from New London School District. Waterford School District should come out because Waterford School District is also associated with AFT, which is our sister union. And New London paras are associated with AFT as well. We're asking them to come out and stand with us because we are your families. We serve you, but we also are your family, neighbors. Our kids go to school together. We need to make sure when you need support, when you're going to have to be on the line, which if EB did not settle their contract, yeah, it wasn't looking pretty good for them. They're going to need us, and we're going to be there.
Anything else, Connie?
Thank you, Maury. You're so helpful to us.
Thank you for coming on. And, hopefully next time you come on, we'll have better news. One last question for you, Sue. You know, rumors go around the one. Is there any truth that your Aunt Joyce Meehan is engaged? No. Is going to get married again?
No.
Are you sure of that?
I am positive.
Well, you've heard it first.
I heard it first from
Thanks
you.
for tuning in. Please get out and support our friends at L&M Hospital Murray. Signing off from the city, Too Tough to Die in New London.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.